This car from the 70s was so ahead of its time that it was banned. And I'm gonna show you why. Today we're checking out the Chaparral 2J, and no, this thing is not jet powered. But what you're looking at is basically the first ever ground effect fan car. Well, let's see how it drives. As always, we're starting with the speed test, but from now on I'm gonna do it here at the Union Island Airport. We have a kilometer-long runway and a plane on the other side waiting to be hit. Let's see how quick we can get before the impact. Oh man, this thing is frightening. Let's go. Whoa, we have... Oh, what a bad start. And let's see. We're already way over 200 kilometers an hour. This thing is blazing fast. Oh man, I see the end of the runway already. How fast can we go? Wow. That was well over 285 kilometers an hour. That was super fast. I'm giving it a solid B tier. But let's see how this vacuum behaves on a real track. So let's take it on the Nordschleife. And there we are, aboard of the Chaparral 2J on the Nordschleife in 1967. So the Nordschleife was quite different back then, mostly the first sector, and oh man, am I going fast. If there's one thing I've learned the hard way while driving older cars, is that they're bloody fast, but they don't brake at all. The brakes were just not their strong suit, so you gotta brake super early if you don't want to just end in the fence. The power this thing has is completely absurd. It's terrifying. And actually you have, well, a ton of grip, because that active aero with the fans under the car just sucking the air to glue the car on track, well, it was working quite well actually, and that's what got this car banned, and it was never able to race and show its true performance. It would have been quite dominating. This car is just absolutely bonkers as we reach over 300 kilometers an hour, and I have barely any control over this thing. Wow. So on the contrary of other cars of this era, this car really handles extremely well. It's glued on the track, it turns super well. You really feel like you're driving a way more modern car. The problem being that it doesn't brake. But whatever, who needs brakes anyways? And this is why I really love everything that Chaparral has ever made. The limitations of those cars were always the rule book. These cars were always banned for some reason, because, well, they were way too different from anything. And also quite dangerous for anyone on track. But performance-wise, those were just simply monsters on track, as you can see. Not sure how the fans work when you're in a banking. Well, it seems like it holds up pretty well. My goodness. It's actually the first time I'm also driving on the older version of the track, so it's quite a discovery for me. It's really beautiful, albeit a little bit dangerous. You have no curbs, nothing, just the road, the trees, and a ton of places where you could die. And we're slowly coming to the end of the lap. Oh, so fast here. Oh, wow. That was scary. This part, oh my goodness. So the layout of the Nordschleife in 1967 is mostly the same as it is now, apart from the first sector. And now we've done the second banking, and there goes the long ass straight. We're gonna be able to see now how really fast this thing can go as we're approaching the 300 kilometers an hour mark. And still going, and still going. 322, 324. Okay, let's start to brake. We don't want to end this Chaparral the same way as we crashed the first on the last part of the track. And there comes the final straight. We'll be able to see how fast we can lap this, and it was just over 7 minutes and 30 seconds. What a lap, what a car. That thing was bloody fast, but that makes me want to try it against modern day race cars. So let's take it at Spa-Francorchamps against modern day GT3s and see if a banned car from the 70s can compete today. Let's see how this 50 years old vacuum cleaner can compete against GT3s. And there we go, time to give it all. We're gonna start a little bit, oh my goodness, we're gonna start a little bit slower on the first corner. We all know how it is at Spa. It's gonna be a mayhem, I'm calling it. Well, time to wait for our turn, and then we're full sending it. Let's see how it goes. Oh, My goodness! We're so much more powerful! Look at this! I have to brake! I have to brake! Because the GT3s are too slow! What's this? We're so much faster! I'm catching up everyone! Come on! This doesn't make any sense! What? I have to brake a little bit earlier though. Because we have those old pesky brakes that I love. So let's try not to die. But my goodness, we really have a chance to compete in this race. I went into this thinking, oh my goodness. I went into this thinking, well, we're gonna try at least not to end too far back and try to compete. But we're dominating this. Wow! I'm starting to understand why it was banned. And I don't think it was because... Oh! Oh, big moment. That was my fault. Sorry, mate. Well, we will have some catching up to do. Can we still be competitive after such a big moment? Now it's full hot lap mode. And we're gonna push this vacuum cleaner, how I'm calling it, to the max it has. Look at how we're getting closer and closer. Full throttle. Oh my goodness. Well, we're back into the battle, guys. Now it's time to show the true power of the Chaparral 2G. I'm actually so sad this thing was banned. It could have brought so much more to the racing world to have such cars competing in real life. I mean, look at this. Look at how... This doesn't make any sense. Bye-bye. Just imagine, guys, we're currently battling in a 50 years old car that was so unique it got banned, and we're crushing today's GT3s, which are some of the best performing cars on the planet, and we're basically beating them with a 50-year-old car that was designed and made by two guys. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This shouldn't exist. And there comes the end of second lap as we're in P7. Still, complete nonsense. Look at this. We have an exit speed of 270 kilometers out of the ready on, which basically is like 30 kilometers more than any GT3. And we're overtaking them like it's nothing. And now we are in P4. We have currently a little bit more than 2 laps to try and get on the podium. Can we do it? I believe we can. Now it's time to get on the podium and prove the world that the Chaparral 2J was in fact one of the best race cars ever made. Because that's what I believe after driving it. Well, that was not the best overtake, but you haven't seen anything. Because I'm here to prove you that this thing is well deserving of winning this race after starting last, spinning and getting again nearly last, and then, well, getting back on top. Fridge on wheels, that's how we can call this. This looks like a fridge, works like a vacuum cleaner, and drives like a rocket ship. How's that combo to you? I think it's amazing. Ooh. Oh, that was right at the limit. Well, and here comes first place. We're now leading the race. That's how easy that was. As we're coming in the last corner, drifting and officially winning the race, beating a whole field of GT3s with a 50 years old vacuum cleaner. How does that sound to you? Well, that was a ton of fun. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you wanna try it yourself, all the mods will be in the description. And until the next time, have a nice day.